All right, so we're going to go through some problems here in this section where we look at different techniques of solving equations that might seem a little unusual. So first that we're going to look at is factoring. So first off, so let's take a look at this. What can we factor? We can factor out a 5x squared. Next, we're going to use the zero product principle. Now, what that says is A times B equals 0 means either A has to be 0, B has to be 0, or both could be 0. So first, let's consider this one. Divide both sides by 5. Square root both sides. And really, 0 is only 0 here, regardless if you put a plus or minus in front of it. And I'm just going to circle it, because what's important about this section, we want to check our answers. So if x squared minus 4 equals 0. Now we're doing this part. X squared equals 4. Square root both sides, we'll get x is plus or minus 2, or x equals 2, x equals negative 2. And again, we want to check these answers. Now, just for the sake of time, I'm just going to tell you what happens. If you check x is 0, it works. You want to check in the original equation. If you check x is 2 and x is negative 2, those also work. So what you'll get for your answer -2, 0, and 2. Now let's take a look at another one. We want to subtract 81 from both sides, or 81x. Then we want to factor out 3x. We can do that. And now again, we use the zero product principle. A times B equals 0 means A is 0 or B is 0. So this is going to play the role of A. Divide both sides by 3. We get x is 0. Now let's take a look at this. Add 27 to both sides. Cube root both sides. We'll get x is 3. Now you might be wondering, why isn't it plus or minus 3? And the reason is when you take a square root, or a fourth root, or a sixth root, whenever you take an even root, you're going to get that plus or minus. But with an odd root, whatever number or sign you started with, that's the sign on the root. So since this is positive, the root will be positive. If this is negative, the root would be negative. That's going to be true with odd roots. So cube roots, fifth roots, seventh roots, that's going to be the case. It's only with the even roots do you get the plus or minus. Also with the odd roots, you can take the odd root of a negative number. If you take the even root, like the square root of a negative number, you're going to get a complex number or an imaginary number. All right, and so that's factoring.